we're going to talk about Hashimoto's and joint pain. So Hashimoto's and joint pain, Hashimoto's and joint pain, I mean, they go together, frequently. And so Hashimoto's, hopefully this is not the first time you're watching this, but if you are, Hashimoto's, immune attack on the thyroid, autoimmunity, immune inflammation on the thyroid. If you're not familiar with Hashimoto's and what it is, I mean, we must have a couple hundred hours on that on powerhealthtalk.com, and you can just look up Hashimoto's, and we talk about the full breadth of Hashimoto's, which is quite expansive. So Hashimoto's is an autoimmune attack on your thyroid. When you get an autoimmune attack on your thyroid, lots of things happen because your thyroid controls every single metabolic process in your body, even though it's closely related to energy and metabolism. And it has a receptor site in every single, there's a receptor site in every single cell in the body for thyroid hormone to create energy. That energy, in turn, that it creates in your cells runs everything, okay? So if it's not running everything, a lot of things slow down, and you're going to say, oh, here he goes again. He's just going to tell me how everything's slowed down. So I'm going to be a little bit more, it's going to be a little different on this because Hashimoto's is it's a thyroid problem. Immune system is attacking the thyroid. There's a lot of inflammation involved. There's a lot of inflammation causing immune systems to flare up and then attack the thyroid. A lot of things happen when that happens. For example, when you get the thyroid attacked, one of the things that happens is you attack the thyroid and you damage tissue. Well, this tissue doesn't just disintegrate into thin air. This tissue goes into your system. And with that tissue going into your system, you get a lot of thyroid hormone going into your system because it's in that tissue. So you not only can get anxiety, and you can not only get jitters and panic attacks and stuff like that, but you can get pain. Because that is a highly inflammatory response. And it's kind of interesting because thyroid hormone in and of itself also is the thyroid hormone itself, T4 and T3, are steroids. And they dampen inflammatory responses. They dampen what's called oxidative responses. If oxidation is like wear and tear on your system. Inflammatory responses, or everything that happens creates an inflammatory response. So your thyroid hormone works towards that. You start destroying that. That starts to become not a mechanism that's not happening real well. Now we go to joint pain. What causes joint pain? So joint pain is interesting because joint pain, it can be something directly related to your joint that the Hashimoto's turns on. So for example, there is now a significant component, significant understanding of the relationship between rheumatoid arthritis and Hashimoto's. They're both autoimmune conditions. You flare up Hashimoto's, that's going to flare up inflammatory responses. It's going to decrease or increase oxidative stress. That's going to set off your rheumatoid arthritis. So it can be that. The Hashimoto's indirectly can alter gut function, and there are bacteria in your gut that when they're broken down and they get out, they're called lipopolysaccharides. They can create an inflammatory response virtually almost any place in your body. And I think those are one of the most common causes of joint pain. Joints, for some reason, have metabolites and they have different chemicals that look tasty to the flared up immune system. And this is something that isn't fully understood completely yet. I just read some articles on this just a couple of weeks ago. But there is an understanding that when that inflammatory response goes up and the thyroid hormones start going up and the inflammation to the thyroid hormone starts going up, there's something called molecular mimicry. And so that when the molecules on the thyroid get attacked, for some reason joints get attacked. The next thing, and also ligaments get attacked. A lot of times people come in here and they have like bilateral carpal tunnel syndrome, and they're not particularly hard. It's not like they're doing jackhammers all day or typing all day, And it's usually that the thyroid hormone has attacked the thyroid and these ligaments at the same time. People come in with thoracic outlet syndromes. I talked to one yesterday, and they got a pain that goes in their neck, down their arm, into their, and they've been to the chiropractor and they've had MRIs and everything's normal. It's their Hashimoto's. It's the same thing with the joints. The inflammatory response from there has an affinity to attack joints. And particularly if your joint pain comes and goes and you have Hashimoto's, then there's a good chance that the same thing that's causing your Hashimoto's is causing joint pains. And I have a strong feeling that there's probably a connection that provides even more clarity than what I'm telling you, because these are things that I'm just reading over the last 2 to 3 weeks. And I see it here every day. I see it here, if I don't see it here every day, I see it here every week. I see it here all the time. I mean, it is very much one of the most common symptoms that people come in with who have Hashimoto's. Hashimoto's is really, you know, you have leaky gut, you have Hashimoto's, you're not on thyroid hormone replacement therapy, and you got a high TSH and you're not on thyroid hormone replacement therapy. It's hard to fix the leaky gut for those of you who are anti-hormone replacement therapy. And then you get that leaky gut, boom, you get all those bacteria that get out of there. You get the endotoxins, they're called. Those bacteria break down, their cell walls get out. It's Katie bar the door. You can get everything. But I think one of the most common things that mechanism causes is the joint pain itself, because I've seen it, a ton of times. The good part is you get the inflammation down, you get the Hashimoto's down, and the large percentage of the time that joint pain is going to resolve. So that